News. I am Saja Britta. Coming up this evening, Network Against Gender-Based Violence hold advocacy meeting with National Assembly members on International Labour Organization Convention 190. Our special guest on News Review today is Gambian comedian and social commentator, the one and only Alhaji Mohammed. But first, we'll take a look at the newspapers. The lead story on the Standard is that Assembly summons Trade Minister over price hikes of basic commodities in the country. Citizens Alliance says corruption is Gambia's biggest problem. Nigerian judges were most willing tools of Jammeh, says Gambian lawyer Nene Cham, who appeared before the TRRC a couple of days ago. Hydra family speaks on disputed Serekunda land. Let's take a look at some of these stories in detail. The National Assembly yesterday summoned the Trade Minister over the out-of-control increase in prices of basic commodities in the country, leading to widespread concerns about living conditions. The summon came after National Assembly member Yakumba Jaite filed a motion without notice seeking the approval of the plenary to allow the Assembly Select Committee on Trade to hold a session with the Minister Honorable C.D. Keta. Jaite, who is also a member of the committee, said the committee noted with great concerns the steep rise in prices of basic commodities. Meanwhile, Citizens Alliance says corruption is Gambia's biggest problem, according to the party leader in a recent press briefing. Citizens Alliance presidential candidate has described corruption as the biggest challenge to Gambia's development prospects. Addressing journalists last week at a news conference, Dr. Ismaila Cisse said the country needs leadership and a sense of direction. He was quoted as saying, I read on the news that they spent 3 million Gambian dollars to buy donkeys and horses for farmers. I have taught the country, but I didn't see that number of donkeys and horses around. I don't know where they took the donkeys and horses. I don't know where they are. I cannot find them. The government should come out and tell us where the horses and donkeys are, Dr. Cisse said during the press conference in a report expected to be tabled at the National Assembly for consideration. The government highlighted how, through the Ministry of Agriculture, it had spent about 3 million Gambian dollars on purchasing donkeys and horses distributed to Gambian farmers last year. Hydra family speaks on disputed Serekunda land. The CEO of Hydra Plaza has issued a strong warning to Aliu Momanjai and others against instigating violence over the Job and Hydra Kunda disputed Serekunda land. Mr. Njai, an elderly resident of Serekunda, who is also the chairman of the Independent Electoral Commission, has called for the intervention of the Gambia government to avoid a potential unrest in Serekunda after a Supreme Court decision considered to have robbed the larger Job Kunda family of their land. Nigerian judges were more willing tools of Jammeh, according to Nene Cham. Legal practitioner Nene MC Cham has told the TRRC that Nigerian judges were more compliant with former President Yahya Jammeh's wishes than those who came through the Commonwealth. She said that judges who asserted their independence paid a heavy price for acting independently in cases Jammeh was interested in. Nene was quoted as saying the Commonwealth judges will refuse to renew their contracts when they expire because of the way the executive was tampering with their independence, she said. She also added that Nigerian judges who are always willing tools to Jammeh's wishes were regarded as mercenary judges. That was demonstrated in the way they conducted cases that were assigned to them, and there was a lot of distress and frustrations, she added. Meanwhile, prosecution opens case in 3 years Jotness trial. Superintendent Jallo of the Kanifing Paramilitary Intervention Unit yesterday testified as a prosecution witness in the criminal trial involving the state against 9 accused persons of 3 years Jotna executive members before Justice Francis A. Achibonga at the High Court in Banjul. The witness disclosed that whilst there, he had some of the protesters saying they were going to Banjul and at the Understate House and make sure that the president is out and that nobody could stop or prevent them. That's it for the Standard newspaper. Let's take a look at The Point. The Point newspaper is reporting that EU and Cole hail TRRC as they oppose Jammeh's return to the Gambia. KMC disburses $1.2 million to begin fencing of buffer zone. Mile 2 inmates concerned over poor diet, among other issues. Foreign partners who were extremely instrumental in supporting the Gambia during both its transitional period as well as after the departure of former President Yahya Jammeh have commended the transparent and diligent work of the Fruit, Reconciliation and Reparations Commission. However, they are extremely cautious over sinister efforts to undermine the core process of the Commission. Further emphasizing such fears in a message seen by Vice Correspondent, Human Rights and Advocates in Europe equally expressed their similar mistrust of the former dictator's return. They acknowledge that Esa Fall and his team are doing an excellent job, and following the revelations at the TRRC, many are shocked and traumatized over what happened in the Gambia. Inmates at the Gambia Central Prison have raised concerns over what they described as poor feeding and accommodation conditions in a documentary. The documentary was released during the launching of the Rapid Prisons Assessment Project, photobook and video documentary organized by the Ministry of Interior in partnership with the Gambia Prisons Services and the UNDP. The Prison Services of the Gambia has been in existence since the colonial period in a country of approximately 1.9 million. The three prisons are responsible for about 600 detainees. With the new government, the Prison Services aspires to meet the Mandela rules and transform the prison service from an institution centered on punishment to one that is focused on rehabilitation. UDP opens application for presidential candidate. The United Democratic Party says it's inviting applicants for the position of the party's presidential candidate for the upcoming presidential elections slated for December 4th, 2021. The Point has learned that the notice is as a result of the party's constitutional requirement. Applications will remain open until Wednesday, 7th April 2021 until midnight. All interested applicants are invited to submit their applications to the UDP Central Committee before that stipulated deadline. That's it for the newspapers. Let's go for a break and we'll be right back. Stay tuned. Welcome back. The Network Against Gender-Based Violence recently held a high-level advocacy meeting with National Assembly members and decision-makers from various ministries on the International Labour Organization's 190 Convention. The Fatu Network's Usman Jata graced the meeting and now files in this report.
The meeting is part of events marking this year's International Women's Day. The event brought together National Assembly members and decision-makers from different ministries to dialogue on the International Labour Organization's 190 Convention to support the advocacy for the Gambia government to sign and ratify the ILO Convention 190. Honorable Usman Silla, National Assembly member for Banjul North, encourages the network to further engage MPs on the ratification of the convention so that it can be domesticated in Gambian laws.
I want to assure them that this select committee will rise up to the occasion to continue giving them all the support that they need. What we are expecting is a policy formulated, as we are not a policy-making institution. We are encouraging the network and its other stakeholders, partners, to do everything within their capacity to formulate or support the formulation of a policy together with the Ministry of Gender or Ministry of Women, Children and Social Welfare, which we believe would be informing whatever law that is needed.
On her part, Fanta Jatta of the Network Against Gender-Based Violence gave a detailed presentation on the ILO Convention 190.
Why the convention? The global community made it clear that violence and harassment in the world of work will not be tolerated and must end. I think this has been all of us, and we are doing this as Gambia because we are also members of the UN body, and we've all agreed that violence is intolerable and it must end.
The meeting also saw comments from union representatives and decision makers from various ministries.
The labor laws are crucial, and we need to have them reviewed. Of course, the review has been ongoing, but then at what state is it now? Is it before the Ministry of Justice? If it's before the Ministry of Justice, do we need to do more coordination? What is keeping it? And those things are there. And of course, it's important that we ensure the inclusion of provisions from this convention. But I think it goes beyond just the labor laws. We have the Sexual Offences Act, for example, in place. We have the Domestic Violence Act in place. The Domestic Violence Act has talked about harassment, violence, domestic violence occurring in domestic settings. But it went on to say the courts may determine what constitutes a domestic setting, meaning if only some of those provisions were tested, you can take a case that occurred in the office, because it depends how many hours do you spend in the office, how long do you often be together, what makes there are elements that the courts can rely upon, but those provisions have never been tested.
ILO as an institution is tripartite, comprises of government, whose representative is the Ministry of Trade, Regional Integration and Employment, workers' representatives, and employers' representatives. So we have been working with the Ministry of Trade for the ratification of this convention since its adoption in 2019. It was discussed, we have looked at all the pros and cons, and we were supposed to convene the Social Dialogue Committee in order to work at the modalities for its ratification by the government of the Gambia. But since then, the meeting of the Social Dialogue Committee didn't hold. And every time, whenever I am there, I always remind them to convene the meeting so that we can discuss the modalities and make sure we go ahead for the ratification of this convention.
The comments and recommendations made by stakeholders and decision makers from various ministries will be forwarded to the Parliament. Article 8 of the Convention stipulates that each member shall take appropriate measures to prevent violence and harassment in the world of work, including recognizing the important role of public authorities in the case of informal economy workers. This year's 16-day activism is focused on gender-based violence in workplaces, with a particular emphasis on the advocacy for the ratification of the ILO Convention 190 on the prevention and safeguarding women and vulnerable people in the world of work. Reporting for the Fatu Network News Review, Osman Jatta.
Bright lights, one dream, thousands of emotions, anxious contestants, excited judges.
I didn't feel a battle. I felt a good performance, everybody happy.
One winner.
Good luck to both of them.
What do I say?
Who will it be? This is the last chance to save your favorite contestant. Performing live, the winner of the Beer Star Sierra Leone, Mohamed Cisse, aka Luxy. Call or SMS 1010 to vote for your favorite contestant and to keep him or her in the competition, or dial star 1010 hash and select his number. For international voting, call or SMS +220-22-99944.
So, finalists,
6 p.m. on GRTS, our official Facebook page, Afri Radio, and all our social media partners. May the best win.
Welcome back. And now I am joined by our special guest on News Review today, the one and only Alhaji Mohammed, comedian and social commentator. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Alhaji Mohammed, nge kontong.
Baraka bak, I'm content. I'm murunta nantuko.
Birthday boy.
Yes, sir.
Let everyone say happy birthday to our guy.
Yeah, thank you. More appreciate back.
Yeah, appreciate back. But yalo muna jahal. Iko ibuka diamu no. For natara ye afradomo. Ye muna domo bija ni kana nying.
Ndalta subola. Jokes aside, mfama is a diamond dealer. Nga femona law. Mfula on kono. Nte durong. I can say this loudly because I kettle. Momo malla neta kisi. Was mo nintel kumbotan denanma e ka dolala muta ya finja nyatem pour ngandi. Yalla jandino le ka kalamala finja ni mono. Nte dola birin dindi ko le finja ni. So ndalta fiona wala na fion diata. So gamenol nyanto onda.
Bari yemune domo bi janni kana jam.
Afra dron.
Muta be kandila.
Non bibe tela bakel. Nim biye men dan dron tonya nyanti e famfa.
Abe kane bari yalla memu ito la badde natale at a time mi yalon ko Sati bebe dundi nyokon Alhaji Mohammed.
Billahi.
Adiamo siata.
More fun after ka celebrate nya but yalong I want to maintain the protocols ngo na manjarala. You know alinga cool tenkundi bayri ko corona bija tijang.
Anu go no social gatherings fana.
Sati o beben ko corona deja because no one ta tonya. Ma kutu konde nyol Zainab Dabo nyol wala after menkela tonya bi don Gambia bebe jijala. Wallahi billahi ta'ala.
Yara fandung bidon sa nga dun diamo nyin kono.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhaji Mohammed diamo si atal kununde.
Ha.
Ila wo afra fana ye kanindi le kunun bake fongode. Because kuna ko iwal to mol bulle mu nekata.
Gambianol mantar ta kunkan. Belong. Mantar ta kunkan andu nyanta nganji ko fali. Yalo ngafo nunja. Ama 1 week si vindicate. Mohammed is a philosopher. Mohammed is an extra comedian. Londo membe mbulunta nga lonne. Nenga fengo fem for a mark, a sign. My prophecy always come true. But ning Gambianol nim mandaji ko fali nga jawya bondin sondo mo kono. Nga fay. Billahi wallahi tallahi nyim banko, ananiti ta dulato ila liyomidin. Anda nyom banku tardere o man soto fente fa moment tardeta. Gambiano jube bang sila kende tembulu fente fom manya. Ngo hani Obama nga fujang man sayala nyim banko tita.
Munate na because njiko
mol man better. Do ba de dala do ba tinyala. Nga niol te nyoe. Andu nini benta somanda ni e bulo dile e konton. Eta camera love from member Gambia atat blato. Love tijante. Pretense la bija.
There is no love.
No.
But one thing, nothing I mean kacha, even though it's a very sensitive topic.
Fengo feya ni nkamba jabi.
But inko muna isabari. Isabari muna. Ika yung call kanya dile tandi isabari. But on a more serious note, the reason why I say this is sensitive is because anata nyaming mujamal shocked her because they thought, well, this was something that was not expected. You know, mitale kafo coming Gambia security kitatena. So ni mo wultanang anu ngalon ne mul kafo miyenko ye mimbalu in the past 22 years. Yena nang in this government fana in sita mo fintanang ako ya kidnaple. Police only investigation, okay? It took them only 1 day for them to do their findings. Iko Mari Montonya for he gave false information.
Ato for Kexlom.
What is your analysis of this whole thing? Because you know, Gambia coming here for Nyaming, we have other issues to also talk about, but this has diverted the attention. Akamtal ko Gambia nyina problem o berale and now focused on this. Ite yin problem o nyadele. How do you analyze this issue?
Ndabuka kumo nyandi. Ngaje nyame nka fole nyam. Biri ngamo iko keksane nga saferoje. Iko keks ko ya kidnap le nata fay bade koto. Abije tilifula fo sabanja o musole nyayake. Mbalo fata. 1. Muna na keks funding kelo. I agree, but I determination does totally in him. Me alon ka fo ko nte fon wat donc depend akane for some informations. Ala ninkila.
We all do.
You understand? Especially when it comes to the parliament, because nte bukan megabytes waste back. Kata parliament jube because nafati je. But it can depend kex can to know some information, even though they may not be vital to me, but at least nkalo member caring. Nka depend kex la kawoto ala ninkila aba. So funding kelo me alan ka fo aka kato fanala. Bari men katabul mistake wala katabul. Yeah, kex nyantala nana scamming aspect Gambiano be 3/4 until be found scammer. Nta found member sirin jam scammer. So make a scamming ket. But I meant for Gambiano manyang yalong kasim ndanga meant for kex koma biring police ole report for mbolo for la jang. Nta man ken na fikiti. Ning kex yalo nimbenta kana bulo dinna. Bari na meant for koma mba for la jang. Andu nimfane kuriya ka kex ye finta ya fonye. Kex ye menka ka information o mendi based on the police report natara bolo nyama kex ma ben. Kex should apologize to the general public for causing panic, havoc, unrest and threat to every citizen, home and abroad. We love our brother. Stand by your brother when he's wrong. Stand by him when he's right. When he's right, now the Tonya Kaya Baraka Alafa. Na ma ben afa no ma ben Gambia no nyanta kanyim pomposity bulale. Nobody is bigger than your mistake. We are all human beings. To start to make up stories at the investigation ibasa fero kala kex. People love you imanke mondinti sign. Me boy ta come and say you are sorry. Nte I love kex so much. Moma kanunta tibanta manke wulu ni na fikiti. Ntam funding ke ulti kumandan. I can have a bigger mistake than kex. But nimma ben nga fo ma ben. Nga dogo bula. Nali kex jal ba fo la kex. You are right. I'll be safero kala Facebook to win his favor in return. No! I'm not fikia bula to nya fo dindinwe.
Itaman la ala story la.
No! I'm on soto.
But he's still maintaining his
No, I'm on soto. Ima arrest. Moma kidnap. It's my brother. I'll tell him the truth. According to what is being explained, it's not true.
But that's the thing.
Yes, sir. Let him come out and say, I'm sorry, Gambia. We take our brother back. We support him because this action cannot redefine who Kex is. This cannot define Kex. This cannot make him a bad person. He is not a bad person. I know him. He's very respectful. But he's wrong on this. Tell him the truth. Because the funding can come alfali and fail because mbuka tonya fwe. So tell men fan betikiri men can be nana sim kon call fan dogo. Kex nyol they are promising politicians in the future. So but ninga Kex mako ngake wulo ni nafiko tibi. Are we grooming great leadership for the future? No. We are not.
So what do you make of the police investigation? Because, first of all, people who are on his side are saying that, well, the police were very quick in their investigations and all of that.
Police all found a quote on Binajele. Police all need mistake that. Ye memfo ekoha Kex gave a false information. Ni mistake that one other Kex la quote at Katonya. I'll come out again, nim police bedunang or kabiring Abulai Sanyam for last person. Because you should be a responsible institution. You don't have to tarnish someone's image. Police or the high command near to establish that. They are paid. It's not free. So responsibility as a nation, nyanta qualita. Muhammad Memphis, I have done so many mistakes. Who am I?
So whether the police investigation is right or not, you don't believe in Kex's
story? I don't believe in Kex's story. But I still stand by him and I love him. And Gambia needs him still. Because he's a good boy.
So ngana Gambiano to and Gambians and social media, Alai Mohammed, because ninyin kusi fa kata ika beleje, ika sefero sifa beleje, and ika bele moy. Iti mune soto to tell Gambians to be careful about these platforms because it has gotten to a stage me alonko fema fa nketa nga wo fay on social media. Some people are saying that okay, ngoni mol si fal ke fango muta molien ne celebrity and stuff like that. Fengo fenkete la life kono ina wo muta ya fay on social media. How do you look at these things?
Name mistake o kete bul. Mohammed is not bigger than mistake de. Nga fole ko funding ke akoleat. Bimbe keksta kono mandin ko near duoje fulan siso ke si miretala. Nta fonanta senamo. Nsidu normal kono la mandan. Bari ning itata foi kata modi ikata public figure ning damage katebul stay behind the wheel. Stop the driving. Stay behind the wheel. Allow someone to do a PR for you. Amari for manyan kelela close badi no what's the bias no, but a sensible person me alan kafako at abe kumora folete on your behalf me alan kafako ate damage la soma because you may be at a moment me alan kafako ila moral is down. It's ta fensa fe no for membe dundi la mo so nim ku kete bulu mole nyanta kalo ne be men sa fe la men yalan they are close to you because Gambia no ngavo mole ko hani ko moy ko be stranding ye Gambia semester dani jay kan be stranding nay kodo ki risito katara abora ni na dunta nyola
I will publish on Facebook
la nen dani le wala nante ni men so kodo lan ka si Facebook len ko thank you Sadio Brito pour soma nin ku yata mfa sa fo ko nene ko yetankle because yen sole semester cancel but momo yen son nene nka findi len ko baraka pour amon jare receipt la video wala bentabu nko ya baraka o jare da receipt mabo because it talents nin Gambian semester yeso ela risito babul ni na dunda nyola ba fintinde so ni be fame kan you becoming a public property you have to be careful especially this country you wouldn't know that funila weakness not will take a jawolji so nyim banko mo la ko hakil tuolti bi ni ko ha Mohamed e Grammy la win na thank you to Siala, but if Mohamed die, RIP, what's on Gambia? 10,000 ibajalaji. Because film me ala kuriya doron nka career wala celebrate. Fo man gatonya. Yene nyimban kuntinya. Fonsi lole nga tonya fo nyoy ni mem mistake ta. Nga tonya fo nyoy karima ben. It doesn't have to mean come in amari to la political party killing no is your loved one. Tell someone the truth ko ima ben you are helping that person. Ndane na dunta kuriya ko konole. Moyem kumanna ko nyebe nyimenke ka bula. It is silante sila kendeke. Ndada sinabun kono kumbota. Andu mo bulal. Barna mari ko nyanun thank you be menke ka mamma koy. Gambia non buka nyoma koy. Ha? Ali nga nyoma koy tonya kan. Ñun dogo len na politiko tinya. Ñun dogo latin na sila kende man so amanke man sa kundati. Ñun dogo latin hani futuwol man baraka bi. Because ni be futuwo kono bi. Muso na la chairman of board of director le mol fana mu hypocrite gang dol nati. Wol fana mu tinyar la dron nati. Futu jamal ka baraka sa man sia. Because kew na la board of director lum. Muso na la board of directors. Wala kala futuo dictate alla kordako. Man sakunda fon be Facebook la bu. Wala nan ko baro e be strong. Nim Facebook ya cha do ke government ke la decision fali. Why? Ndaketa man satila. Eta fon ni ama mbe soron. No doubt.
Adia was well fake blogging. Guy fake blogging. It's somebody Alhaji Mohammed. But what is your brotherly advice to our mutual friend, Kex?
Yeah.
In a situation like this. Sometimes,
it's really painful.
You have to be strong.
Kex, personally, more me respect soto. Billahi, Kex respect soto back. Kex son ina be diam ka bu ke nya kono jube. Ngalon na molo. And he's a brother. I love him. But mobalum banko kan sign. Ala foku mona saver kan anta hakilot la jet. Ando hakil to benta fanama. Abeta fama. Abe Lamin Jaima. Abe Fatu Kamara. Gambian screenshot yo nol. Nin screenshot nin ke call ni be call phone aside ke record le. Auto text right now. Anyanta menkela wolom nyinti ko ama ben dame afoko I'm sorry life goes on because kexival manyanka soye dubeng. No. He's a good boy. Nga stand nga support morally nga je kwa lo asi una tukumfana nga ta life goes on because crime on leketa men be kex la nyanya.
And nga jele ko fana you know ya for like coming people have to be careful especially when you are out there you know, for the people to see. Woto fongo leke kisi ku yalo ne when you are out there everybody wants to know. But I think it's also important that you know sometimes we try to hold back a little bit, you know, sometimes we tend to give too much of ourselves to the people out there.
Yeah.
Coming after nyamin sometimes fengo fenkitela life kono e wota ya fa social media, you know.
That is dangerous. There should be a private life and public life.
It's important.
We have to differentiate the two. They are different. Your work and your personalities, they shouldn't conflict. Because near conflict, here one group to wrong, it can damage life la soto. And the world be Gambian all. Ini came my nyosaba kopola, yeta Facebook ya. Today my husband took away my tea of cup. Jumal la haji boto. Jimbo mankita alla bunko na be Facebook. Pobar mankina mongi Facebook. Lajo man soto Facebook. Monyante la Facebook live ya tala. Nim Facebook face problem abola koska.
Diamo siara.
Gambianol malo men nyanta tala social media anim men man nyanta la je. Ini mo phone a private conversation albe diari wato menna. Ali kullo men share. Bi al kuyate kata o screenshot ka ke Facebook. That is nonsense. Our people have to stop.
Immature to say the least. But it does not only, you know, stop at screenshotting messages. Recently, there's been a rise in the issue of nude photos. Nkasile, ngaje, iko karela nude photos be bantale. Karela video.
Bala fo jambide.
Alhaji Mohamed yemu ne photo.
Nyin juki ju ya nyanta kabula. Ali nga sabari. Nko kano kadiala to a point mo bu katara fon bulo kono. Love make you silly. The sarcasm of love is beyond the ordinary expression. When you are in love, you become feeble and weak. Ibuka kala ko dinne. Musol la ni musolo be kanola ina be kanobe diaring. Love be diaring. No e commando ka kala commander in chief lati. Al fengo fo e ka kele. But ni moyo ke moya joki moye. Altata separate ways. Don't expose that person. My sister, my brother. That is the past. At least I'll never be diaring.
But hana man kauti fanka hada madingo bunya ka
no
mo
ko explain here. Maybe ni ma hada madingo na bunya jube sala pass good days all jube. Ya lon ko nyinga lafta kala falti aba kala modelti o already modelom. Nga fo entel be mistake kol nene sotole. Jam men nene mela baga so ki mo aman siat. Ni nga tonya fo men ta finti ta wala finti tat. Mem men nene man baga si ki moye. Oy man baga si kite ntoma jad. Ndel lañu generation.
Ay mama ya idea. Okay. Even the advice la mola. What advice do you have for the people?
Nowadays, don't trust. Don't trust anybody with your image that is sensitive. Because that's the bottom line. Was nunto mole suturo sotole. Eka kutu nyoyenne.
But the science suturo mantara.
No!
Because ni fengo keta anytime
every
that
mobile
a video leaks or a picture leaks. Like my man sa for you know. In fact, more minute ka pareka share. It's the people that are closest to you. I can tell you that.
But I'm saying this, the people, Bob Marley say your best friend could be your worst enemy. Bob Marley left. I have a dalilo men call them the people that are close to you. They are the worst pretenders and your worst enemies. You wouldn't know that until and unless calamity befall upon you. That is the time you know that your friends are not your friends. A friend in need, a friend indeed. Man killing. Man killing. teri soto mandiade teri soto mandiade nini mo kafutal al hakilo to kumo be fondal be mem fola he is my everything she is my everything hakil to be je wobata gambial
ati nyata lo ngomi adiamo kasi
my everything and my something Gambia jang he is my something nyanto wala nati la to replace everything yalo nga fo en kam meditate le e ma jang mo bi dane ita fo man je expect Gambia yes Gambia no nyanta everything bondile la kumo kono he or she is my something so everything will yalo omo tubabo leati ka moja ba kumbola love bula mo kumbola because of hani tubabo hani hana fen wina ka kumbo because ila emotion is high Gambia no bade bla fo men jo kumbola la pa tulo kono amantar kumbo kan musone ne aken nyala la futata bade dula fango fay bara nyaay muroje dura daifta muroy nko nyaaye wula man ama fango fay e ka ketuta bar murobe la rim duma la jankita muroy mo ketuno ngay mbinkinda ko nyina ngay ta man ketunu ye fanne fay duma doro Gambia no bole nyama hanira sanga kumbo wuli ala mola moka fa bi yena mola muso jibe abe furuja fe on ko ne ka fay ko anything I'm ready for it
mparita sa football ka organize wol defense
na jala dula musol dun sa hani furuja fe on ka sexinde e munala al hakilo to al fanto
wo fana ke
furuja fe on ka sexinde ka be kara ni etari lo furuja fe on ko na si turu ka munam ben dantela liyen way alal dum fewlon wodu lan te kewol blem la bake furuja fewni sexy be nyaton la fay ka kalal ma powder ite ba furuja a widow sexy widow mo le
Gambia ja
ha nde nyim bankul lonne na nyim bankum molo nkamem foy ngalo mbakel na nyim bankum molo mbakel hakil to be mbebulu ku mandang ku medang success me dan nyame malo manda wala nyama nsi malu no la soma wala nan ko keks la ko wali ngata ning hakilo la
yalla yekumbo fole ni hakilo tata na frena ni na party di dato bacili
mafu jam birim bota jam 1 week bacili ya disgrace
bari ko mbatu folong
yo
yalla ite mbuke understand nyadi la
o kay songola
mbuke understand isita janne ko ha bacili sita janne baraman tara nun kumbola and then less than 2 weeks being ajele minketa Gambia and it was all over social media it was incident waje nyade
bari nga fo ngo nga fem fa ka kele ngo ko bacili man problem sura nga nyo senata ngo fo jam ngo barala kumbo stranolo moy dali kodole every day nga be $10,000 na $5,000 sikaje saibu kaje iba batala le bacili bi julol le bala nim bacili e mila wala ka kumbondi Gambia la politique kuta strano man bete ala ma len ni tanka fuari ama
amen
bacili nyol wuta fewno kono bar bi ko es nyo suturo man soto nun to sarakula du bacili la nyim problème moy ba bola kan my best friend Abubakar Jawara fama baba police station lola sanya abadin sarakula dem $300,000 drone ba muna na manta ojo Lamin Jai la best friend Lamin Jai man son ka fa anda nyanta wala jola yo sutura
Lamin Jai la best friend mu awaka ja
ala best friend nda fa na best friend because anene ma ko bar to nyam kilinati $300,000 police station 2 million ibadi itata jola ya sutura la nan koy bi suturo bantale
so ninga mo sifal je like bachelor aiming for the higher office there ike jibe nyaade len
wala nyantanta kumbondila
way fa ngay kumbo wala
yeah. Gambia nyanta tarla bulu kendol le bulu yim bankun ka develop amang kolea ba doctorol ni notol fon bem tunde yim beta baroti de ya docteur jama je jang hani notol tan pharmacie be bulu konan dund e ka boro bam
but a health minister once said this and The entire Gambia went ballistic on her. And here you are repeating the same thing.
Let them come with their ballistic missile. Ballistic found missile large. I am ready for them.
No, because you wonder. Because
most of these nurses, they have their corner pharmacy. Where are they getting the money to buy it? At the expense of the poor masses. You are a pharmacist at a general hospital. 6 months, you have your own pharmacy. Where are you getting that medication from? Who are you? Huh? You will see one line scene. 10 people will be operating on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cheating the taxpayers. So let's change our attitude. Dr. Roll, we thank them. Because most of them could leave here and go and stay in Europe. Bari niba katola fanang yalum banko be manyanko kodo noma bake fanang. Tubaboli ya dole sacrifice to dole ya enjoy. Martin Luther King is not a billionaire. But I told Bitala 5 Bill Gates be balloon jamama. So greatness is not all about money. It's about sacrifice. But Gambia no be ko fasi bunjawlo. Gambia no be ko fasi moto serlu borinde. In the 10 years, the comedy kono moto so. Ama mu chok fa. Can the taxi la jo? I'm fine with it.
Absolutely.
Am I complaining? But je nindala takavo bi alaj Mohammed nimboda fatu network. I'm going to have taxi manyata.
Mol ben jibela. But this is the mentality
with pride.
But I mean, this is the mentality, you know, because sometimes you can mol jele, you know, just probably appearing on TV doing a little something, and all of a sudden, equate to public transport tala. You see people investing their entire money town trip ta lungo lung only because you don't want to stand on the road and people passing and said, oh, Alaj Mohammed Jibe, ahena lorin jana.
Senegambia la nyingela me alon ka fukan si round fon kan si round look sponjo banda. Ndunda wala nata jang with pride. Nadala si say mo la jo. Jamal ben soron nok.
Anymore.
Who cares?
And then you probably saved a lot.
Yes! Bindila manjanga subonye.
If an atemo in subode.
That's my life. All along. Not life be musubolti. Subukulu people. STL antele.
Right.
Yes. So hakil tu abeteata.
You know, nyim fang warando fo ke fang otora. Yamela wala buka mol batandi bangalaj Mohammed.
Ha! Pomposity kills one with pride. Gambia, if we can devoid ourselves from 3 words, according to philosopher Dabo, anger, pride, and grudge is killing us. When you get angry too easy, you lose a lot in life. When grudge beclouded your soul, you hardly prosper. If pride has taken you all over, depression becomes your companion. Simplicity, I used and survived.
Simple.
When you are humble, the society elevates you. When you have respect, it takes you to places. Loyalty opens doors for you, which is very hard. That is honesty. Nobody is perfect. We all have our mistakes. We have our shortcomings. And that is why say ture nga tentu nga jay. Kekslamso. Because muna na nga tentu nga jay. Say nya finkintel alote fe. Furel alote fe. Nga fa nko kana sonye affect anyway. Ela do ko tenten. Because say ture is a national property. So I have to give up no la do ko. Kuma me sama manyankati na stay away. I do call start me alam kafoko. It's a natural crusade. God is going to reward her. My sister, continue on your good job. Don't be bothered with something that has nothing to do with you. ñi manquetati so ma fe ibe karankam
mbe feel kan mbe
you understand so nte kamadi am live I just text me Gambianol almalon ko nimmobe live they don't know
they're just calling
yeah. This boy Nsanawlon bara kamanya meng ma understand I'm live I cannot pick calls right now I can't boy I love you nigga but don't call me yeah understand I'm not a benjibe canal on the I'm live but I've been called put more salon ka nimmo ba yeah understand you are my friend. I love you. We are friends. But don't call me right now. I'm having a very serious issue that I am talking about. Love is the solution. Go. Don't fight each other. Fight for one another. Kambiano. Hani politiko yanne mune a janjandi. Politiko jibe meni batate buka fensoto. My basic definition for politics is for the madness of the many for the gain of the little few. Yeah. Madness of the many for the gain of the little few. 2016 daba barola moto koma.
Mboto reality mbuke understand. Muntu mali defo mboto APRC fo ibe baro fana moto koma.
No, ya long abenyami ya jamen ka support num because I like him for something and I don't like him for something. That's me.
Okay.
I like him because nako nyinga kokel. That's his principle on that. Anala jiko nala kudol bill. I'm sorry to his victims. I don't want it's sensitive. Yeah. You understand? But I like him for something. That's me. Nka more likely for something small. Nka like I can. But at the end of the day, very more bacon we need change. I have to go to that side. Wala nanga baro support. Magazino bembul ni ala tema mbe moto ko mbe lorinje nomination dula ambije marbi na state house do njay mane maje ata bondi njay mane bu baro jassa baro fana jew man nyankel ko min kunchang kutude ye wuli dole ko bita mon la man sala jala man nyankel
bi ka ko le njay mane be audio drop la le man la fi njay mane ko ala audio kono
ni ngan jay mane jabi dorom ben na standard la loose la I will lose my standard na di atay ba ma fo bar to nyaala be fo kan jang fatu network man ke batara dulati e kan ko mo moy njay mane america baroje is cheap I thank you baro kanaje you don't have to see every riffraff like that a telephone ka kam falkan who is njay mane falka sa fe newspaper ala bulay nene nendiro baka ku kental abuka tafasi bombala fate gamera state house mu sumtu community ba albita jile don ka baroje you don't see baro and then supporting baro should not be the same then you are a beggar alkalta tonya fulan jay mane because abe audio le bondi la I am bondi na baro like ko dam man akanaje abaje la munala njay mane mu importance ta soto dunia ko no fabita nim baro be sila
abe NPP trading kana ka bola jira sa
ay boje amam ke fenti NPP tali feñolo matije ntala ngafo jam al kasila men nanta ko leke ninta fana mabe ali man perfect to some people I'm even the worst person thank you that's your opinion about me well be sila la malaika ndimu na njay mane abe sound na kototo na boda UDP attack ni usenu dentale mama nyinyi he's not loyal baro man nyankaje thank you baro don't see him la man sakku maita ibe complain le laftoje le baje la munela support him don't support your pocket ko di ko la bala kayti table say
oui
abidama la state house faka complain
alafta baro le jela muna sa
dalila jom what purpose mo me ala hania safe ala kayto bala suicide mission ya di ala kayta kayto anin kayto bita ya kanate
yamune mina lay Mohamed ñun ñu jaay mané
ya fewon tan ni ndalama italien anat nte ko ya fewon tan ni
il fallait que ni jaay mané fay ñokan
no yalla al kamu don important di bakele al be mol torale ni safere me sona la min jay fan wa don de malon fo akatari kido la katara la ba be modol safela nyim platform ah
oui say kala mi jay fana
no mba mala le jante be nyamen jan nim pareta na nga bulo di ala na ma di nga say
iman tay wo so da
al to nya fo nyoe nda mo men para siri jan nim ma be sadio kol ne fo nyema be nga accept life goes on fo to tonya but alben jaymane kumayandila ah albat na be bulala barola a head of state ah alben jaymane kumayandila malo memen ka atella kumayandila
okay
ñinin kar do ke ngatan na do
no problem ta because ni jaymane audio ñin drop mbe ba moy la
na ya kinan tata la moy la fonta bu ka ku kuntan la moy Mahmoud is too much. I'm reading my books. Nimboda jam fonta kada read lela. Suto nga finti nga ta magic ba nga teaming je nga say.
Ay mama nga muru Abubakar Jawara la koto because comme ya fo nyaming a wultale akabeta sanyen ne kata police station or build but before me futala police station build on into let's get back to the serious part. This recent issue in Sanyang ite wuje nyaade because you are youth and funding ke lebe involved in koto nga jele police wol tata je ye funding ke ramase ye somebody were arrested. What do you make of the Sanyang situation?
Sanyang situation is a very sensitive issue, and I think Mansakunda nyantaka kuodo bije nado kurkur kan kabirin ko kurkur dula mol nyantaka dimba fawato menna nin dimba fawato tambita dura ka ke masi bolti right or wrong?
Right.
Dimba fawati la bala no fawato tambita dimba fanola. Arresting the youth right now, it makes no sense. Let's find a solution for 10 years to come. Sanyana issue balafale bije.
The whole most part of Combo South.
You understand? Combo found problem out of Banna Combo.
Land
nimba. Our fishlam, our land. Combo munyinati. Nen saba nyambala, my woman. Kombola two major problems is land and sea. Ne mansa kunami singulo jembe malo sotolat.
Tinyaro bekela
Masibo, tinyaro ketal me masibo le walinka. Fo mansa si singulo. Minister of Lands nka manyang kela moti me alon ka fo kwa manstulang. Because Cortes si fali men ka fay Minister of Land ka bu ka fay hani baroka.
Wo bula dala ñu mama.
Yeah. Kombola land issue is too serious. Very serious. Nyemen ka bo ba kono bayri million ka soto je wala na wodin dula fana masibo bije. Fo man ka tonya. So mbe mansa kunda mbe danila ko. Men kata sanya amanyang kala kotenke. Ye timo many along kavo sanya issue. They start working on it from now. It will be difficult, but it's not far from fact. We can. Yes, we can. Nsakenol. B, men tell batandi B, nkalafi nga kolon simbi B ngamimbi. Wala takela. Solution of the can work out for 10 years. Yena soto kaka. Funding kel fanam fonsi dani sabarola loi diminta nyaaw nyanni kana ke bulo
say ngajele it has become a normal thing comme ni fenketa funding kel ye finti maybe police station or mala yemune soto be min fola funding kel
no that's wrong. A wrong is a wrong. Two wrongs cannot make a right. This country belongs to us. Our generation own this country. We have to be responsible citizens, law-abiding citizens. We have to be focused, vigilant, watchful of our steps, our actions, our words, our deeds. Because if not, they will have a plenty repercussion that will have a negative impact in our life forever or into eternity. Wala be sanyang funding kelbe sirin so gono do ku table no wulta ata fon e ka dani silo la kan haji tela do ku table nin crime mamanda be siso bondi wala nan dama la jimi dulala ye mo ja école le janya
imam fit wala ne be fokan
no it's because fit there is no reward for it. Grammy award ka fitness na fatala ñu ni mel be katay fon pompité wandi musoli kata train wala kan say wala be kéré ni fitta doro eta badale wandi kes muso muta woke mabe sirin tubabu itel kata o service kanja
il fallait bena problème on natala de
say ngata blado
il fallait bena problème on natala semestre solbe sirin jana il fallait bena ko be dundi la ñokono
say ngata blado
no nga jela bam folo
no ngam même fo is true jim na fatala mo men ko di tiol fon jibe Mohamed Dia 6 packs bala Basiru Jawara 6 packs solo. Abubakar Jawara 6 packs bala. Baro 6 packs bala. Momo I make nyim banko.
Kana baro la 6 pack kuma fo jang.
No,
ibina diam dole wulindi la
jang. No, even Bill Gates found 6 packs star.
Ye jella solo.
You go to this man Dangote. I'm 6 packs solo.
Ye jella solo.
I be flat bellalum or this.
One pack.
Swollen bell. But ye momo just 6 packs bala kata kelo le ada be juru. I bata na fe on soto nta to kela. Every successful person in this world with billions, there is no 6 packs. 6 cars is better for me than 6 packs.
Right.
No question do you nika.
Say awaka jawala tata Sanyang and promised that he's going to rebuild the police station. But Gambian will dole, some of them are divided. Ka foko ha ka police station will build woman yenaka to civilian or bulo kono, and some people actually said it on platforms that they are totally against it. It muna muita la position DJ.
Yeah, no disrespect to Abubakar Jawara. He's a Gambian. I respect his struggle and I love him so much. And maybe sign them famata kanyomo but na mo kende ba na keba kende ba and anga niyo fanan senata. Ada madi moment afo ni mo for mo jonglete. But I think when it comes to certain things, especially when it comes to security and businessmen, in Yanta you separate. Because you know why? Money breeds corruption. Money breeds corruption. Well, I'm not the billionaire, they give money to NGOs.
Right.
So what NGO will kind of responsible for the supplying of this money, and they can disperse nyame. But direct influence from a rich man to the police station. Police Jamal Abubakar Jawara arrest la na kuya nyimbankoka. You won't arrest him because atala kala station all. So ntenga believe men sort of with due respect, kodo nyi naba donate la, I donate to an organization or to something. Even government la body dol bijele. Maybe let's say disaster management because we damage men kataje wolle marata. I kodo di wolla hand over where. Then but direct contact with the security command, I don't support that.
Yeah, some people are linking it to the fact that okay, this is a businessman who is only concerned about his business because remember, Fenko Babule aka sand mining in Sanyang. So a lot of people are linking it to the fact that he's doing that in the community and he's doing, these kind of things to earn their support.
Yeah, every businessman is selfish when it comes to their personal interest. Most of Gambian businessmen are selfish. They only spend where their interest will yield back to them. Either this way or that way. That is not only about Abubakar Jawara. That is most of them. You understand? Even individuals, they support you because they expect you to support them. You understand? Most of the businessmen in this country. So I am not against a citizen contributing towards national development. But there are some aspects, they are very, very sensitive. Ye mo kanu nya kana support woto. Because new work at Adron, Abubakar Jawara will become excessively powerful. He will control even the president. Kodo koreke. And the new Abubakar Jawara yo control or Basiru Jawara yo control or Modu Turo Dawo yo control or Modo yo control. Many along cover they are influentially rich. Near ni na police command control men diate ba kala eni moto sinafon mun ko si tari bulle eni moto ene futa police le salutieta bari nta sifal fentende membulu be nta me alon once in a month lan ka subo nyime wo fanan ka kodo dajale ninta futa da hani manku ke police ko nye park there a beni horomanta ya because fentembo wala bijang rat race fankum wala bijang. So I am not against Abubakar Jara as a person, but in can explain ko he is a hard-working young man. I company la sota janda Gambia di unle employ famantaro kekan aba kekan and respect to the young man's struggle, but come in direct contact to the police command more opposite.
Sangata, if they mention young Mialanko is very important. Munkuko, you know, like some people say that the country is infested with cocaine because there was a drug bust here, which we all remember. Still now, Femam Fintije, Femam Fuji, Alaji Mohammed. Kunung Fananga, Mol Basa Fekang on Facebook, ko police ko Keksana la case ning. Allah investigation o tariata bakal de munalte mul fana mako la pour cocaine nyimbang.
Bayrim fenta Keksbu. Fenta on kabataja. Wallahi keks la ni nakata modola e baaje de ba ñori keks la ñeng akata modola bul wani ay tak kibar moy la ci wala nan ko police ol nalbe du na ñola demandinde al kakar advantage samba fuarol kan police ol security al fata fuarol la alfata fuarol ma alebo koditiol nyaanyinina ni ela moto famuta traffic jam ela sungudo la moto ni amte ke sungudo moy haral ma call king koli sorry ma fo king koli ka kala de ko min ka sampulo le diala don because kumo man dia haral ma call e commissioner dabo I will call the ko let him go or let her go fo buga kida
akakela
moka confidence soto kaiti tala motola bera la kambano ala suga dadi lom police la nyaton koti
ifele fendo fo jam
yes
ngai fele kudo ma jam
wala garata beti ni tak diare suga dadi memboto dantala
barinko
police dia suga dadi membije dantala nawek suga dadi membije dantala ami suga dadi membije wol ñuul be jolonte da kono dantala walla ñu sungudi ni mesawn balo firindi mbul saate o kono ni e cheste ye jube foy duma ndeme alon ka foko xx max le bentabul hanisay ala ni makuti konte wotu mo ni ndako moy put your number here ni en Samsung jube obe sitirim fole wala wol kanta tipal wol fon camera fon dama wula kono molti kada di lal balo firindi because he can même kale mtal buka kale andi ka bonni na kodol to
ime mutol sanna
ha
apartment wol be sotal
ko nin ni cebel benta Senegambia nto kukil ndaka balula ya ndam bom sat nin tanata denke jayle e ko nyako togal lobuga le kanko en felentire
afra
Mahamad fana jahannaba ma fal te dunna je barakar dan
ayo ko ya
on se 2 days kije
fayda 2 days ka bunna don
wallahi because ndafana mbe kule ni ko din niwul do
making me laugh out loud
you understand so police all alfata fuarol ke tora respect the poor Gambians. They are important part of our existence. Kana je ko palasi table kodi table alke intimidate alke la right violate rich man or one telephone call like a case file. Why? How? Amanyan Kelawai.
That's what happens when we don't have strong institutions.
That is the case. That is the case in this country. We have to speak about it. We, the ones with the voice, we have to speak about it. We are all about our package. Gele driver, ni lumene ko, bayrin del kadu wala baki. Ni lumene ko police all ko from next week from the IGP office. Ibe motol pakla. teta motol jube men park gele lo me ala lampu kilon teta birin 2016 election wato o van kotoba wala taxi me alon ka foko akoma siwon wala kofta foka pare bo bella kirata batukan école le muta ni wol muta wol le men do kuy ni atala ye buleta private yol non nata papier buleta foi ka saluti and in the traffic all the time oto be balafa Ablaye Sanyang acting IGP melo mbari ko you are a principal man Omar Job alama ne manin kafarke say tele bi jet nyaabe kan jama mem fon na moy rote ko you are a principal man kana o fali al fuarol fana na nyanto di la polisol wala na bako de police station auto wotu mo jandi be sawna tipagaras lu menne polisol la tele sunya polisol be sino ke batala ha wolum tel be a celebrate because polisol yem batandi yela sunkuto found text yakuma fire because I la hard break polisol yena lo la bunda dala because fentable
no mo bari yamna mo mela hard break
no hard break kan ni be nyim bankon ka may mo be lo soto ndamante la da bo ñol baro ñol mo be ni hard break soto nda damante hard break kay wo man tar palasi kuton
wo molong
wo molong jang at camera ñol mbele be hard break nene a sotole ka bo jang style muti fenkolo muti hard break kay wo mu asobility da
but yalla ngo you finna mention jang about this sugar daddies and I just want us to talk about it.
Gambia sugar daddies, they are very dangerous sugar daddy. Very dangerous people. Ye kano koleyan dintel fuarol bul bakele. Sai ntel ni fi nyafa dum men yalan ka foko hajite la sate ko no sai. Ntel ka be wole fe. Because ni dinin serlu men yala keje be malamal la Brazilian hair or human hair is costing 35,000. Nta bobo la min tobi.
A business over Korea can back out.
Abe Korea because diare
barinko
madu nga diare ma yaade diare ni na benta sunkutoka nana dada tepe tesle akonya ko wa degala light na la wanda nga suma far bi diare la mo liggey nga jerejef a competition on tano
ya bula wala ya
bula nga yam fatem ndano saken ports diare nawek NGO ino ben sunkutoka ya jamela time jongule ino ben sunkutoka e botu la je so diate nyaawne ko tuje
ay wala yalla mu nekada what is your advice to Gambian girls because most of the time ka jele comme Gambian kel ka fo molion ko altol man la hani fenna yen doy Gambia yen gumulen dara
but that's true al bebo la kono sadio femo diatalia
sugar daddy business woni
sa ita fudutal alhamdulillah bar femo diatalia Gambia mu sol femo mal men problem lati e kam moja fon ya tiesa ka fo ko hana ban liggé la moda wala na Gambia ke wulo siata tonya folati the only method ntel stranale men sort is to lie and get hit and run relationship mbol la ja. You understand? Boy akele na konyoka. Ala brother boda nan tubabudu. Anala mobile on aso mobile on. So wala WhatsApp na mangal terme mbije ate Africell SIM card o sang aya dundije. So aka chepenyi al number di ala call UK number ni na la WhatsApp. Akoy ko abe Angleterre. Akoy ko bar next week le minani chepe telephone love commerce. Atata wandi bagol fu. Atata airport ala friends so ya drop je lungu men na binata fon be airport 2 hours. Ye doje bago babul airport sign wudo lom de amambod lato de. Wona ala bagol be siri airport wole nyama.
Itara se ko je ko tengi.
Ala friends so men ya drop je tata chepe kam mo fanam pareti je o mammenke. Woy ruju mala fo ruju tambi de camera tamato le ba neoto.
Kata o sikador
itata boni kamana wo fanan slangs ta keri wol wo angale bota dawdandi wo kola fo chepe ba fan ko man 1 week killing kano abe kumbola fengono boy sol fana bafala oh boy ta oh right. Well, and every Gambian young boy, our generation become liars to get women. Because Santon Korea Korean Dembul. Imagine you are working at State House. Even that name alone, Eko Ekombe State House, Mulke Nimbaro Jelul, Ndani Reden Sunkudola, Ndabatala. Sajabo Korea. So Gambia Sunguri no ala hakilo to Fianto. iPhone ala hakilo to je. iPhone manke duniati.
iPhone un problème to insate ko not momo kabe iPhone.
Ye momo jaba kala fayte waras wole problème onata ñin selfie ni ñin portrait. Snapchat. Snap problem. Snap wuliafo, snap hypocrisy. Akole wu. Wala ne di new men beje, di new be sunjo boyta. Ke kanan tang wo beta sunjo fital ba mal. Wel da manol ba mal. Kapintal be sunjo detala. Abe sunjo wati dala ba.
Ngo.
Sunjo be
Ngo. Ngaje pula kada laro. Jani ngala time moment raje fam, but let's just cover this area jani beta. So the issue of skin bleaching. It is for water because ngaje last time na National Assembly, you know, MPO Sita, they had this discussion, they had this debate for skin bleaching yenta legalized lebang for yenta le ka ban. What's your reaction to all of this? Hesalo, ite hesalo janyade like Mohammed.
Hesalo ke mambetea. Naturally. Andu hesalo fana manke fuar la fenti. Because musodol bi je noli e mu. I'm not encouraging it, but he ke balo like because he ka tulu kendo mensang. Bari ñing karo white men katar puso ko ne ta koy bela balu o detal wala kam e dabo ko ta ko la folo ta ya mo
ñing ko to la ñade la
e ñelon ñing ke jala bi ba pousse la ñim pousse tiol ba pousse la ñim fembe pousse ko no sero ko na expert e tala ko di bu ka fensi kambani barkarinte bul ke kendete bul ko do be men bulo kon ite ñati no karo white la $50 $55 jandi ba la sanji fule dabo be ka mole e wutol wol be ka pale. It's your right if you want to bleach, but bleach fana ni mam fuda level dot kanake because he zero akamol toro gele kono gele dunale. We are against bleaching at certain level. Mo ila life let. Na di adeta blue film act America is not my problem. Bari bleaching fana ni standard la kata. François Bidon. Yen dabulo sanna janne do mande mba fa 150 sadio kube nyum bankun kan muna ninga moja wuli afa ko do stali ala alintu je sunkuto le kam batandi nyim maraw men be ya jentel be ba kono bi gambia sunkuti ndi do ye nyu wala sima o damba wala na do bi je na be diam kam nte sign wastal ha nke nyinin kale. What do you like? Nke muta wolto. Mbije nkai baby, what do you like? Because in the first meeting, you know. Nkai, what do you like? Bila start I like good things. Well, going to restaurant for breakfast, going to and abuka restaurant in din for many along cover the poached egg damang is costing $950 to $1,500. Akor bila bo restaurant for kan ron na fit nyimbe maska. Ngon kono deta bente kesen di kanne. I like iPhone. Well, I like dress. I love this. Nkoje o duno bente Mahamadou Kam. Wala ta kala. Ni I like te fama ya se.
Sa kala nyadi la.
No, wo banta.
Yo bla wala nya.
No, bidin ta side adron. Nata fay ko nta fang I was just kidding. In the relationship nta dati. I like, you you want ice cream, you want that. That's it, fine. For love, when you buy first, the man has to spend. I can't come responsibility di mol lan ta kenola. You know kon tela do ko man sia. Voice advert ndaka depend wala ka. Ni so man sa ndaba ka kodiso. Sa itala ta come italo everyday si ma o tarbo kanta bulu. Na me tamba wuli afla fat camera nga ko do so tabul. Fat camera na tar nene akelo yam famma nsa wonte. Nyim banku ye momo jabe fintila be dunna dro musole ba tono. Ba press la. And near call I mistake ta lunkili me sambe e kolisine mo e chipal jaw soye. Kene mo ningili e chipa. E ka jutu wulu nya fona. Muso me alon ka foko fondi ata e bake. Wo e call andu na be call la. Janni ba fula ko today I don't have money. Account ka dia. Nika na ko e be where are you? I'm around Senegambia. Okay, can you please buy me pizza? Nika I don't have money. Okay, for nyapa. Food no langita.
Kajaka tinya wa.
Ah! Ni lung men atije ta kini kandin ni rong do mate fala. Ika Gambia sumudi ni ulja restaurant to. Dol bije ni ngeni ngeshina I don't like rice. Tawa tarik suwa kono slay queen slay rice abe mano slay ka. Nuetar kini kandin ni rong kunde kamera ko.
Kalero kono.
Ha aka mala fatonya ila meso li kor fay birim bundala konko keta di fakan. Nyin slay queen sol be mu slay hongalti. Ngelom bakela because ni musol be ñoko na ten. Gambia sugudi ndi wona ngelom bake wala na ko mo kadi. E keje e pareten pasitable de. E be lif danola. Ni sida moto nyate belto sidite AC malawoli. E ke kan fayten wala kambano taja.
Akabula jamal no.
With your deep voice, babe, I like your style. Where are you going? Well, I want to go out with my friends. We should be around Senegambia, but they will be coming 2 hours time. That 2 hours is telling you indirectly, Ko, you can capitalize these 2 hours and be with me. They are hungry. Ita ko ita do kuka. Ita naku do kuka. Ita karan, mechi table, fen table, Senegambia.
And you want to live the high life.
You want to live a life. By findi de ta donto wala ne la ñi meso li kamuta ko alandim because meso membe bal kuntal majulo banjola folo don toro
bari don toro seta janne de alañ ma
wala problème oti wala bal be feño kan
hani mbatu hani kana fo nyama
muna mbatu na fo nyama
hani muna kana sonka kana fo nyama du kare kana fo mbe
no yalo
it's not my thing, it's not my style
ma fo latin na mo bar sadio yalo to nyama ndiade ma fo tabijede but nimba fala Gambia sunkude ni menna worto da diata ya bulati ni me alon koy jikante kam fa ko mer bokul
bari ko no modu kala jelede because say interview ni mena tinya kan
no abe tinya kan ne ani nkame explain ye nko mesi jama kataral kuntal ma julo banjolo folo wala da ngani sabe kunto bi be kam fala because mun e ke mira balance ni la
ike ko ikanta ni wafati ngono ngum ko to be hadi wonten ngum ko to be nyamen wala
ngum ko to dam man tade Gambia sungudi ni on ko e tarjana ila meso e kamuta ko ala ni kata esti la soto o jizul la so ha meso e ka bule la badai solo kono because amam banjola any minute sine normal andi be wulu ila friendson ni men call be tek ti onata dron wo ka fala ko defa tukki aman tukki tabe laran ko fake life malen ham cepe Gambia ni malen ham niye menje high hilo kan kakati aba nyali ele mandila be Hollywood chingom wala extra chingom nyime kam ina abe siri nano da speed ka fa ko what's going on, you are not happy, I'm not in the mood, wanted pay time let's see
jor waro ay ma say
ngamara mbalo la wol
I just can't. I lost my voice. But now I'm saying time or bantale. Bula saying you do the closing.
Mbal tentula bake, Sadio nge tentu bake for giving me this opportunity. Gambia, we are all the same. Gambia, ni member malu kona kanala malo tanga expose bake.
Nkonka kontan lefang.
Alinka kar kontan nyola masibola. Naman kela be kele bali una one day. Alinga your support in times of difficulties. Let's respect each other. Even though disrespect can be today, will be your best friend tomorrow. Good possible. So hanya mo konga kanyang. Ibita sulalo mari la dami malong.
Sengo be fango nyanta dandula sotula.
Yeah, understand. There should be limit to hate, even hate.
Yep. Everything.
You understand? Animosity, grudge, limitation to it. It's a sensible thing to do. Man, if you can understand. Nyo kong ma fokata kela because ala fone a die kanonin konnante ala da. Bar kana mo kon to the extent e kala bi ala malo da manne jela. Amam betea. Nimbimbe dota kono sinin dota sinalde. Woto keks fanali akko nyawnya ala kanyang. Jamu dunyalti. Muna dunyata tula. Lunkili ba mwela Mahamadou Banta yen siun saba kaburo kono mbije. Ngafo mole nko. Misili mole nyante karange londo soto e balafa soto nyoy mufti menklafo. Al-Qur'ano warata nyen ne ko. Al-Qur'ano a warata nyen ne misili me dim. Yafo ko nga belong. Bara warata nyen fane ne ko. Yafo ko hani fenkili malon Qur'ano kono. Wala na aya wuli woro, aya keme woro, aya taw woro ani woro. Al-Qur'an 114 surahs. Kum fay kuno bunda say. 99 names of Allah. Kemelo mbardoni ma reveal. Ala woli balle wolo. Utali nga kuo kanyang. Bunjengle abad. Banjulal Mamo Job ale amamba. Sadawda ale amamba. Sirif Dibale amamba. Pernjale amamba. Edward le amamba. Dunia kabanna de. Alal hakilotu nyoto.
Saya total.
Alkanatin na politiko albenyo hadani la amam beta ya Gambia nodu. Ndani mota diala kamola malo expose. Ndata sonna wala. If you are my friend because you want me to expose someone's weakness or to disgrace somebody, don't be my friend. Keep your money, keep your prosperity, keep your everything. I don't want it. Because a human being should be protected at all costs. Love, caring, and sharing. Thank you.
Abarakabake Alaji Mohammed. Well, that will be it for News Review today. That was a very, very long one. Actually, my longest show ever on the Fat Network. Thank you, Abarakabake, for coming through to the Fat Network News Review. We really, really appreciate it. That will be it for News Review today. Do join us tomorrow if you can. Thank you very much for watching and have a good night.